we had a baby, quote unquote. We had a baby, and then we got married. 5 years later, I find out the baby's not mine, but we're
Whoa,
married. She's just like my mama.
of course. Well, the beauty is you never had a relationship with her. It was all fake. Kevin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Mr. Jesse Lee? I'm actually from Pennsylvania,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
Well, they
yeah, I'm from
said Washington
Pennsylvania.
State here, but Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Yes. I was calling today because I had a question for you. I listen to your show every day while I'm at work, by the way.
Right on.
For probably like the past 5 to 6 years, I've been listening every day.
Right on.
My question is about divorce and on whether I should divorce my wife. I got with her. We were doing our little out of wedlock thing.
Right.
We had a baby, quote unquote. We had a baby, and then we got married. 5 years later, I find out the baby's not mine, but we're
Whoa.
married. Yeah. So my thing is that a case where I can divorce her without it being struck down by lightning by God?
So she got pregnant after you got married?
No, she was pregnant before we got married.
Oh, but you thought it was yours. She told you it was yours?
Yeah, she told it was mine. I was like, oh, I can't have another baby out of wedlock. Well, I did, but I was like, I got to get married. We got to have a family. We got to do this thing together.
Oh, I see. And you have other children out of wedlock?
Yeah, I have one other
Oh, okay.
daughter out of wedlock.
And does she want to stay with you knowing that it's not your baby?
Yes.
And how are things going now?
Well, I kicked her out,
You
but
kicked her out?
yeah, she lives with her at her mother's house now.
Oh, I see. And you guys have agreed that you don't want to be together anymore?
Well, we haven't agreed to that. I told her I needed to think about it. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't sure, how God was going to judge me on this situation. Because I heard divorce was a bad thing.
Well,
And I feel like I've gotten my.
God is not going to judge you on it as long as you don't judge her.
Okay.
Because whatever she's done, it wasn't her. It's something else that's driving her. And just like it's something that's driving you. And so as long as you don't judge her, it doesn't mean you got to agree with it, but just don't be angry about it. God is not going to judge you. Here's what I recommend. Since you guys have already separated and you need a little time to see the right way to go, I wouldn't go and file for a divorce at this time. I would work on it. I would wait and see. And I wouldn't, you don't necessarily have to bring her back into the home at this time. But since you're not clear of which way you want to go with this thing, always have a wait and see when you don't know exactly what to do. Because there's no reason to rush into a divorce, but you can just stay separated for now, work on you. Are you working on yourself?
Yes, I'm currently working on myself. And another thing is, she's just like my mama.
Of course.
And I noticed that before I even started listening to the show. That's why I started listening to your show. I'm like, this guy is saying everything that's happening in my personal life right now.
Yeah. Have you forgiven your mother?
Oh yeah.
And how did that go?
It was the worst thing. When I first did it, she tried to make it seem like I was judging her, and because my mom, she's pretty mean.
All mothers are like that. Everybody's mother is mean like that.
Yeah, my mother is mean. Everything you say on your show about mothers, that's my mom.
Yeah. And what are you about to say about your brothers?
Oh, my brother's been locked up his whole life for about 17 years. And when I talk to him on the phone, he has a lot of anger towards our mother because she wasn't there for him at all in his life.
Amazing.
And he's always talking about her. I hate her. And I'll be telling him, bro, you need to forgive her so you can, get out of what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
And he calls my mom, and he's like, I'm going to forgive you for all the stuff you did. And she calls me and says that I'm forming armies against her.
How are you from the army? You're telling your brother to forgive, not to hate her, but to forgive her. That's love.
Yeah, I mean, ever since our relationship has kind of been severed, ever
Nice.
since I went over there and told her about all that.
Well, the beauty is you never had a relationship with her. It was all fake. And it wasn't love. It wasn't a real relationship. Now you see that. I highly recommend that you work on yourself, do the silent prayer, and move on with your life. Get up and go to work, save your money, eventually buy yourself some property. And I'm telling you, man, you would see what to do with your wife's situation. You would see what to do with anything, and you'll be fine. But just take one step at a time. Don't hold anything against your mother. Don't hold anything against your wife. And don't hold anything against yourself. God is not judging you. God knows that you have never done anything wrong. It's that thing that's been driving you in your mind and emotion that come from anger, and you thought it was you, but God knows it wasn't you. So He has never judged you, and He never will. And that's how we should treat others. They know not what they do. They don't see yet, right? So don't be angry. Do the silent prayer and just take it one day at a time. And God is not judging you for divorce or not to divorce. He is warning you not to hate, because whenever you have anger, you bring it upon yourself. You bring trouble upon yourself.
Hmm, that's deep. Because I feel like I would be a beta if you know what I mean, I'm walking around raising another man's child. You know what I mean? Those are the thoughts that go through my head. You know,
Right.
when I'm trying to talk to my daughter now, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, she looks just like the guy that, you know, my mom cheated on me with. Like, these thoughts just go through my head, and it's like crazy.
Yeah, I understand that. But even in that situation, don't believe the thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time. And one thing about evil, because our thoughts and our bodies are filled with evil spirits, a lot of identities, false identities, right? And so they're going to tell you, especially when situations come, they're going to overwhelm you with why this is that way and what you should do and this and that. It's all lies. So resist every thought about this situation or anything really, but especially about this one right now, since it's one of the major situations. Do not do not believe any thoughts about it at all. You just stay present. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. You practice being present. That's where all the answers are. That's where love is. That's where God is, and you'll be fine.
Okay, no doubt.
But all thoughts is all lies, and God has never judged you, and He never will. It is impossible for God to judge you. He does not do that.
Well, you know, I like the Bible, so I'm not that good on the Bible. I can't tell you where anything is at.
Right.
But it doesn't say in the Bible somewhere that God judges us.
I, if it is, it must be in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, He does not judge you. Satan judges you. All of your sins have been forgotten, they have been taken away. You've been bought and paid for by the Son, and all of your sins. So there's nothing there to judge.
Interesting.
Do you
Okay.
believe you have ever done wrong?
Yes.
And why do you believe you have done wrong?
Because I feel like the things that I do, that I reap the consequences for those things.
And why did you do those things that was wrong?
Maybe I feel like circumstance, situation, or seeing other people do it, and I'm just like, oh, that looks cool to do, or you know, that guy got a lot of money over there. I want money just like that, but I don't want to work for it. You know.
And who influenced you to do that?
Damn, this is crazy. My mom. As far as what I'm talking about, I mean, you know, dealing in the streets and stuff. My mom kind of took me on my first little route through the streets. You
Really?
know? Yeah, my mom took me on my first drug deal when I was a kid.
That's amazing. Well, forgive
And I
her,
thought it was
man.
all cool and normal
I understand
until
that
I
as
got
a
older.
kid. I understand that as a kid. But as an adult, have you done wrong as an adult?
Um,
Have you ever done as an adult? And I understand you were influenced by your mother as a kid to do that. But as an adult, have you ever done anything wrong?
the most thing I could think of is with my first child's mother.
Right,
I didn't marry her.
right.
I kind of had a kid, and like leaving her and seeing my daughter look out the window while they drive away. You know what I mean? That's just painful stuff. And I feel like that was wrong because I feel the pain from it. When I can't see her, or when she has to, she's telling me what's going on over there
Oh, her
and
mother
how
won't let
her
her
mother.
see you?
But she tried it. I went through court. She did the whole came and took her from me. Wouldn't let me see her.
Well, I'm glad you didn't
Um,
marry her. That's evil.
yeah, but I feel bad because now the homes are separated.
But if you had married her, you'd be separated anyway. She would have destroyed you.
Hmm. So I feel like that's where I'm wrong, and I picked the wrong women. I'm I don't know what's going on. I'm the common denominator here, so it has to be me.
But now
You
that
know.
you overcome your mother, you would never pick the wrong woman again. It would be impossible because you would not be attracted to what you used to hate because you're getting rid of hate. So you would not be attracted to that spirit of your mother inside of other women. You only pick
Hmm.
the wrong woman because you become attracted to what you hate.
Damn, that's crazy.
Can you hold?
Yes, I can hold.
Oh, hold on. Can you name me one thing that you have done wrong and you did it?
As an adult, like I said, selling drugs was wrong. That's hurting people.
But that would be because you were influenced as a kid by your mother, according to you. So she's the one that encouraged that. But as an adult,
It
have
doesn't influence. If you're influenced to do something, aren't you still doing it?
I'm gonna answer that in a minute.
Okay.
But as an adult, have you ever done anything wrong?
Man, I don't know why this is so hard to answer.
Are
I
you
judge
black?
myself so much. Yeah, I'm black.
Are you black?
I don't sound black.
Yeah, a little bit, but not all the way black.
Good, good, good. Okay.
But
Um,
you say that you judge yourself so much,
yeah, I judge myself because I feel like I'm not where I should be in life.
and where should you
So I feel
be?
like I made the wrong decisions to get me where I'm at now.
Oh, okay.
I,
And
like
where?
dropping out of college,
Nice,
uh, dropping out of college,
nice.
and also I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my father before he passed away. I feel like that was wrong. I feel like I was into myself too much. That was wrong. I feel like I should have been there more for him before he passed away.
And when you say you judge yourself too much, right?
Yeah.
Who is the self that you're judging?
Me.
And who is me?
I guess the spirit, the soul. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say spirit because I know there's evil spirits and there's no good spirit. So if I'm a spirit, I must be an evil spirit. So I would say soul. This is my soul, I guess.
You think that you are your soul,
Yes.
and your soul is judging you? You're judging your soul? That doesn't make sense.
I guess it doesn't make sense that way. But I mean,
Describe
but what about the
Kevin.
word accountability? How can I hold myself accountable for I don't know. If
But
things aren't going right in my life, I feel like I'm the cause of those. I'm the reason why it's not going right.
but if it's your life and it's you, would it be going right? Because you would make everything go right if it were you.
That's true.
You would never make anything go wrong. You would make everything go right. but you yet haven't told me who. Describe Kevin. Who is Kevin?
I smoke pot. That's wrong, I think.
So you're a pot smoker.
Yes.
So
I'm a pot
Kevin
smoker.
is a pot smoker.
Yes.
And what else?
Man. A slut maker. I'm a slut maker, and I smoke pot.
Kevin is
You
a
know.
pothead and a slut maker. And what else?
That's pretty much it.
So you just two things?
Yeah. But those, I feel like those two things are, they've been holding me down.
How do they hold you down?
Well, females, they're my, females are, for some reason I picked the wrong females in life, so females are holding me down. Pot smoking, my dad told me when I was younger, he was like, it's okay to smoke weed, but it's going to mess your life up. That's what he told me.
Yep.
And all these years later, here I am,
And
And I told myself, I was like, when I turn 33, I'm going to quit smoking weed because I'm going to be the same age as Jesus. And it didn't work.
you lied to yourself.
Yeah. 5 days into being 33, I was smoking weed. So,
And so how did you feel knowing you had lied to yourself?
I started realizing, maybe I should stop setting goals.
Yeah.
I kind of set myself up for failure.
And did you stop setting goals?
No.
Why not? When you realized you should stop doing it, why did you stop?
I guess, and that's another thing I do wrong. I have to touch the stove. Like somebody can tell me the stove's hot, and then I touch it. I gotta touch it to see if it's hot. Just looking at it burning is not good enough for me. I gotta fall in the hole first, and then find my way out the hole in order for me to be like, oh, there's a hole there.
Amazing. So because of time, let me tell you this, and I want your response to this. You are not a pot smoker, and you are not a slut maker. That's what you do, but that's not who you are.
Okay, like Adam and Eve, didn't God punish them?
That's not what you do. Respond to that first. You smoke pot and you do slut making, but that's not who you are.
You said you want me to respond to that?
Yes.
I agree.
And so
Because
why
I see myself past those. I can see myself in my head. Thoughts are all lies, but I can see myself in my head not smoking weed and being in a perfect relationship. And I can see it all in my head, but it's not in real life. You know what I mean?
Why do you call yourself something that you do but not who you are? You're not you, Kevin, is not a pot. You're not the pot smoker, is what you're doing. Why do you call yourself that when it's what you do but not who you are?
I guess, like a doctor, they call themselves doctors because they do doctors' work.
But they're not.
So
But that's not who they are. That's just what they do. It's a job. That's not who they are.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, then I feel like the answer is I don't really know who I am then,
I rest my case. Because what you do is not who you are at all, and you don't know who you are, and the only way you're going to come to know who you are, you got to stop identifying with what you do. You got to drop all identity with anything. All ideas are lies. It's a setup. Let all ideas go about God. All ideas go about what you do. You're none of those things, so that part of you could be taken away from you, and the real you will appear. But as long as you identify with the false you, you're never going to know the real you.
Okay. Can I still call myself a Christian?
You can call yourself that, but don't identify as that. Don't get an identity from it. It's just a way of communicating. Someone asked me, "Are you a Christian?" Yes, I'm a Christian, but I don't identify with it at all. I don't get a sense of identity from it.
Okay.
And last but not least, you ask me about Adam and Eve. What did you say about them?
Yeah, I was saying, like, the Adam and Eve, did they get punished? Didn't God punish them for being influenced by the snake in the garden? Didn't he punish them for that, for their actions after they were influenced?
No, their action punished them because they turned away from the Father and they turned toward a brand new father, Satan, and Satan punished them.
Hmm.
Oh, that's all Satan can do. He's nothing. There is no love in him, so he can only bring you grief, false happiness, and grief. False happiness is grief too.
Okay, so basically, Adam and Eve's action caused them their state that they were put in.
Yeah, when they believed the lie, which is Satan, Satan became their God, and now the consequences of Satan is evil, and everything they go through and everything they feel, everything that happens is due to the God that they worship, which is the devil.
Hmm. Okay. I'm going to have my Bible thumper friend call in, too, because we have conversations about you all the time. He gets all angry and stuff. You know what I mean?
And you know why he get angry?
Why?
Because he doesn't know the truth. He only has the intellectual knowledge about the truth, and so he still has anger. Satan is still his God.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he didn't have anger, he could never get angry just because someone disagreed. There would be no anger if that spirit wasn't in him.
Yeah, he's a super Bible thumper. Everything's about Jesus. Everything's about God. But when I showed him your show, he was like, "This guy is terrible. Don't be listening to him and stuff." And I'm like, "Bro, what is?" And I asked him, I was like, "Give me one thing this guy says that you disagree with." And he's like, "Everything." And I'm like, "Okay, just give me one thing." And he's like, "Everything."
He can't name one thing.
Cannot name one thing.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to know real fast about Adam and Eve is that when Eve believed the serpent, long story short, he became her God. Satan became the woman's God, and she could no longer obey her husband. And that's why women don't obey their husband today, because they have the evil nature of the devil that was passed down from Eve to all women. And women don't have love, they only have hate, because Satan is the woman's God, and the God above is the man's God. But the woman is the man's God until he forgive his mother. And when he forgive his mother, then God will become his God again, and he would no longer obey the woman, and the woman would have to obey him.
Mm.
Long story short.
Will we ever get back to this?
You
as far as like,
you can get back to it right now if you stay out of your thoughts. You've forgiven your parents. If you stay out of your thoughts, you could be right in paradise right now, and everything would change at the bat of an eye. You got to come out of your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time. God said, bring every thought into captivity. My voice is a voiceless voice, and my children would know me by my voice.
Okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I'm not doing the silent prayer.
Well, suffer and die. What's the?
I know. I keep hearing you say it, but I don't know. I'm scared. Like I want it to be like, I don't know. Because when people start talking about doing the prayers and stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that's not you just feeling the fear. That's Satan in you, and you identify with the spirits of evil. It is afraid for you to do it because it knows that the light of God is going to shine on it, because you're going to let go. God's going to bring you out of those thoughts, and you're going to let go. And Satan knows that. He doesn't want you to be still and let the light of God make him depart from you. He has to go and find another human being to live in. So
I'm going to try it today. For the first time in 5 years, of hearing you talk about it today, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, but what
The
you're
first time.
feeling is not you. Stop identifying with thoughts and emotions. All thoughts and emotions are evil. They are all an illusion, and they are all of the devil.
Mhm.
Those are spirits inside of you. The so-called good ones and the bad ones are all evil. And so don't identify with those things anymore either.
Okay.
And so in
All right.
closing, for now, you and your wife stay separated. You do the silent prayer, you work on you, and you will see if you should divorce or not. And if she decides to divorce on her end, let her do it and go on her way because she will have to pay the price for that. But you work on you for now.
Okay. That I will do.
All right, let me know how it goes.
All right, I'll definitely call again.
All right, buddy.
Keep you updated.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.